of us to just put in the chat. We can all just introspect for half a minute. We can just write down what we realize is our personality, what is a part of your personality, and is that your true self? Have you had any experiences which you can say is your true self? Just half a minute, and then I'll share a beautiful story. I'll share the story since there is right now no message in the chat. And we can, in the process of me talking also, you can continue sharing. Hi, Darvinya. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, Disha.
Hi.
We're talking about the personality and the true self today. So I'm going to share with a story with you in the beginning. This story is about Buddha. And on one of the mornings, a person came to Buddha and he said, I want to ask you a question. Is there God? Tell me, is there God? And Buddha said, he looked at him deeply and he said, there is no God. And there never was. And he said it very firmly. There never was. So it was a very strong reply. And this person just waited there for a minute or so and then he went away. Then a little later in the afternoon, another person came. And he asked the same question to Buddha. He asked, Buddha, is there God? Again, Buddha looked at him deeply and he said, yes, there is God. After some time, that person also left. And then in the evening, another person came. He asked, Buddha, is there God? And Buddha just hinted to him to sit down in front of him. And Buddha closed his eyes. So this was an indication for this person to just close the eyes. And as Buddha just closed the eyes and was in silence, this person fell deep in silence. After some time, after about half an hour or an hour, it was getting dark. And this person had connected to himself in this silence, felt so much peace. He opened his eyes and he thanked Buddha. Thank you for giving me the answer. And he left. Now, Ananda, who was always by Buddha's side, was absolutely perplexed. What is this happening? And he asked Buddha, what is this? What was the answer that you gave him? You gave different answers. And Buddha said, I gave the answers to 3 different people. But he said, no, but you tell me which was the right answer. And he says, none of those was your question. It was their questions. The first one, when he came, he was very sure that there is no God. He was an atheist. And what he wanted was, he wanted to hear the same thing from me. So that now he can go and tell people, see, I was right. Not only I say this is what it is, Buddha also now says this is exactly what it is. So when Buddha actually saw him, he deeply could see him. He said, there is no God and there never was. Right? So, sorry, he was the guy who believed that there is God and he said there is no God. Right? There was another person who believed that there is God. There is no God. And then to him he said that there is God. And so again he said he also wanted basically that I should affirm his belief. And I did not want to do that because this is how typically people are really not knowing themselves. They have certain beliefs and then they want other people to also believe. They want validation for that. And then they are not going to really look. Now, whereas the third person, he said he was a genuine seeker. He was genuinely looking for an answer. He was not coming to me for any validation. And I gave him the answer. I told him to just look within. I hinted to him to just close the eyes. And that is where he got the answer. So the answer to that obviously anybody else. But really, what was Buddha doing? We all are actually living with a lot of beliefs. We are living with a persona. We believe we are this person. We believe we are that. We believe things about life. And that is all a part of our persona self, our personality self. So they are thoughts and feelings and beliefs and the way that we do our actions, which we have done again and again and again over a period of time. And that is what we define ourselves by. I'm this very, righteous person, or I'm this very honest person, or I'm whatever that we define ourselves with. Is basically we are saying that this is something that I have been doing over and over again, and which is absolutely fine. We all have a persona, but there is an aspect beyond that. If you, this same person, was not born in the, when you were born, if you were exchanged in the hospital. Imagine if I'm born in a Hindu family, and during those times they used to, keep all the children together in one room. So sometimes it would happen that the child is exchanged. Now, if this child would have gone to a Muslim family, obviously I would have believed different things. The same person, the same body, but different set of beliefs, different set of ideas, different set of upbringing. I would have absorbed different things from those parents. So the personality self is out, but our true self is something that we get to know, get to feel only in meditation, in deep silence. So when we all meditate, what is it that we are doing? We are actually allowing our mind to become still. We are observing, we are learning to observe. And when we are observing, there is a part of you which is observing the body, right? So you're feeling the sensations, and there's a part which is observing. So you recognize you are not the body. If you're watching your clouds, if you're watching your thoughts just like clouds, if you're not going away with them, then you are also observing, I'm not these thoughts. You observe that they come and they go. You learn to disidentify. And the same disidentification we also learn to do in meditation when we are watching our feelings. So all the thoughts, all the feelings, they are things that come and they go. They're different right now. They may be different tomorrow. Like I said, if I was a Muslim, if I was born in a Muslim family, I would have been different. So anything which is coming and going, which is not constant, right? The Hindus would say that's a part of Maya. That's not the consistent thing. The true self, when we have to find something that is consistent, that is deeper, that's going to remain. So that when we learn to watch, that is how we are going to start knowing our true self, right? So, of course, all of us are going to meditate here together, but certain hints, okay? I'm trying to now also talk about certain other books, certain other things that you may have heard. How are we really correlating all of these together? So when we are learning in meditation, when we are being a watcher, in the process of meditation, we learn to be a watcher. The same attitude also we have to start bringing in life. When Krishna says that this life is like a lila, it's like a play. How will we learn to actually, live it like a play and not become so serious about it and not start taking everything so personally? This person treated me in this way, she disrespected me. And now I take it so personally. I really keep spoiling my days in and out. I keep thinking about her and I make my life miserable, right? How do we learn not to take it personally? By learning to just watch like this. So, of course, some people may not treat you too well, but a lot of it could be just because they are that way. It's everything doesn't have to be about you. And if you are getting disturbed, if something is happening within you, then that is your business. Then that is what you need to take care of. You don't have to worry about setting them right and teaching them a lesson and doing any of that, right? So the primary step of learning to be a watcher is so important, because it is that which helps us to then not take things personally. When we start learning to do that, we also start learning to live life more like a Leela, right? When we say a Leela, of course, we have to play with full sincerity. We have to be 100% into it. We're not saying that, you then escape, you don't live it, right? However, not being too serious, right? So I'd love for all of us to share maybe some glimpses that you have had, or any doubts when I'm talking about this, any doubt that you have. So let this all kind of sink in here, because like I said, of course, these are things that come from experience. But whatever that you may have experienced, then any doubt on that? Any questions on that? Welcome, friends. I can see some more friends have joined us. And you can put on your camera. It's a beautiful gathering of like-minded people, all of us working on ourselves. And it's beautiful to see everybody. Yes, any questions? Friends, when we talk about, of course, the true self and persona self, we don't have to deny the persona, right? When we actually start seeing the light, imagine we are living on an autopilot and the true self is like the light self. Now, when we start seeing the light, then we can start shining the light on other things. Then I can start seeing, oh, if I have this personality of feeling I'm not worthy, and what do? I keep looking for validation. I look for validation from this person and that person. And every time I'm looking at that, I'm looking for that. And then I feel I'm good enough. And then after some time again, I'm feeling down. And then I try to learn other things. And after learning, I feel now I'm good enough. And then I try to put other people also down. So this is all going to be part of the same game. Whether you feel inferiority complex, or then after learning, you start feeling now I'm better, I'm superior, I know better than that person. This is all part of the same game, and this is all part of the ego. So when we actually start living in the light self, when we start being in the light, we can start shining this light. We'll start observing that, oh, I'm doing this. Why do I again and again think like this? Why do I again and again falter in the same way? And that is when we'll be able to also correct ourselves. When we are too attached to our personality, then we are usually making other people wrong, other people with whom we come in conflict, or we also put ourselves down, right? So neither do we have to put ourselves down. Yes, we have to see what mistakes we all are doing, because we all are here to learn lessons. The earth plane is a plane where we learn lessons. And this is a plane where we actually demonstrate our true self, our loving, compassionate self. So all of us are here in an effort to do that. So we have to, keep examining ourselves and also catching ourselves. Where is it? Where is it that, ego is coming and catching me again? And a lot of the times, friends, it comes in meditation. We have a wonderful experience today. I had a wonderful meditation. And that is where now ego will come. What a beautiful meditation. I'm an enlightened being now, right? And the ego can start coming and catching you there. So this is a very, very subtle game, a wonderful game, a very subtle game. We have to learn to catch ourselves also. Any questions? Any experiences anybody wants to share before we meditate? Maybe you can recognize one aspect that you recognize about your personality self. Maybe you have low self-worth, you keep looking for validation, or maybe you tend to go into a lot of blaming. So either you could be blaming others, or you can be going into a lot of guilt. You're blaming yourself, right? These are ways in which the personality acts. We see that, okay, these are things I do pretty often, right? Or somebody gets very, very angry. They're constantly, having these anger outbursts. That's a part of their personality. What is it that you recognize?
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah, so if a particular situation triggers you, I mean, it's not necessarily you understand that this is a play, so you don't respond erratic way or whatever. I mean, there is a um, controlled response or reaction, whatever. But if the similar situation is repeating, and so you want to avoid it, is that the right response to avoid such kind of situation?
okay. So one has to look within, and you said when some situation is triggering you, whatever is being triggered in you.
I mean, trigger in the sense it feels bad. Suppose, I mean, if someone makes a promise to you and then doesn't fulfill that, and then you feel bad about it. You understand, okay, whatever, you don't blame that they broke the promise or anything, but then you don't want to even get into a situation that the same person has to promise you again, kind of thing.
Sure, sure.
So you understand that it's not going to I mean, I can't really blame that person, but at the same time, whenever that situation happens, I'm going to feel bad. Then why get into that situation? Let's not get into a situation where such kind of promise is made, or any kind of some situation like this, where you understand it's a game, but you get tired of playing the same game again and again, right? You understand that it's useless. So is it okay in such situations to avoid that?
The question is very generic. For example, if it's with a neighbor, I would say it's okay to avoid. But if it's, for example, with your child or with your wife, right, then definitely there is something that is karmic here, right? Because the law of mirroring is working when the first thing that you said is something gets triggered, right? Now, avoiding the
Trigger was a wrong word. Actually, exactly the same thing is like you feel bad that the person is breaking the promise. Now, I also understand the karmic part. I am not now getting that, reaction. I'm in a better position. I understand. I can respond. But if it is
I'll,
happening,
I'll
it
share
could be
with
the other person's
I'll
karmic
share
also,
with
right?
you. Yeah, I'll share with you my example. Okay. Now, I have some people in my life. I know that they won't keep a promise. Okay. Now, I do not even try to save myself from that. It's like I know that that's a part of her personality. Now, it won't bother me. But if it's bothering you, if you feel that I may feel bad again, then there is something for you to look deeper.
Okay. Understand. All right.
Thank you.
But the issue with such thing is you can't plan something, right? I mean, if there is a
Of
promise, and
course,
then
of course,
then
of
you're
course.
not certain whether it'll. So you should have a plan B or not. You can.
Absolutely. So you have to be practical there, of course.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Darvinia, yes.
I have two questions. One is, somewhere in the middle of what you were saying, you said keep it light. And what is the role of humor in healing?
It is absolutely healing. Humor is, so when you see the humor of things, okay, I'll give you a beautiful case study. So there was a person who was with me, and she was going through a breakup, okay, and her engagement was breaking, and she kind of realized that it was not working, and she was taking a session with me to firstly get more clarity for herself, so that she could go ahead with that. And she went into a LBL state, a life between life state. And before that, she was crying and crying and crying. And after that, when she got clarity that this is what she wanted to do, and after that, she connected to her soul guide. Okay. And the way that actually the soul guides, if any of you have gone through LBL, life between life regression, the souls there are very, very playful. The guides are also very playful. They have a very playful way of teaching you anything. So the soul guide says that, what drama were you doing there? The kind of fights that both of you were having, you were fighting on dresses and you're fighting on something. I mean, are these things important? And the soul guide was so humorous and saying, it's like how y'all go to movies and y'all are watching movies and having the popcorn. We also are watching y'all playing these dramas and we are also having the popcorn. And just the fact that this soul guide said this, she started laughing. She could see the whole, drama that she was playing and how she was actually being so, petty in some things, holding on to some things which then she realized were so petty. But at that time, she was making such a big deal out of it because this is how she wanted it. And so this is the way that humor just completely shifted it. So when we are able to laugh about our own things, like I said, not taking it sincerely. Of course, we have to do it sincerely, whatever that we have to do. When there is tears, then we have to feel the pain and we have to go into the tears. But at other points, we don't have to laugh, cry about our problems all the time. We can live life more lightly. So definitely learning to have a sense of humor is something that definitely helps.
I'm glad I already have a sense of humor.
Yes. And your second question.
My second question is about risk. What do you do if there's I truly believe that growth happens outside the comfort zone. So there is risk that you need to take even in healing. But what happens if there's a strong part of you that is so resistant to taking risks? Like, a part that makes you check out, if that makes sense.
So you acknowledge your fears, you write down your fears, and you pay attention to them, you face them, and then you choose to still, like, it may be small risks, but you then choose to take that.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, friends. Are we all ready for the meditation?
Yes.
Did anybody else raise a hand? I saw somebody, or maybe you were just moving the hand. Sanjukta, did you move your hand or raise your hand? No? Okay. So let's all meditate, friends. So as we are meditating now, friends, like I said that so many times, the mind actually will try to kind of create everything. So many times when we sit for meditation also, we will start dreaming. We'll start dreaming about the projects that we want to do, and we start feeling like, I'm getting the answers. Take this time just to go into the emptiness. Okay. So just going deeper and deeper into the emptiness beyond all the personality self. Okay. So let's close our eyes. Take a comfortable posture. Let yourself bring your attention to your breath. Watch the natural incoming breath and outgoing breath. The breath is always in this moment. The mind goes here and there in the past and in the future. Let the breath be the anchor for your awareness, your attention. Where your attention goes, that is where your energy flows. You're going to be the master of your mind and not a slave to it. Watch your natural incoming breath and outgoing breath. A relaxed awareness of the breath. Becoming aware of the subtle sensations that are created as the breath comes in and goes out. You are watching in a relaxed manner. Your attention is resting with the breath. But this is not the focused attention like you do in the school, but a relaxed attention, an inclusive attention. You are watching everything that's happening within you. And now add the attitude of acceptance to this watchfulness. Accepting what is. The sensations that you're observing, accept them if they are pleasant. Accept them in the same manner, even if they are unpleasant. Just an attitude of watchfulness, awareness, and acceptance. You are watchful of your body sensations. You are aware of your body. Notice that. Ask yourself, who am I? Who is watching the body? This answer is not something that comes from the mind. Just be in this silence. Be this awareness. If there are thoughts that you have observed which were coming, again watch them with a distance. Do not start traveling with them. Remember, where your attention goes, your energy flows. Watch them just like you would watch a cloud sitting in your own balcony. The cloud comes and goes. Forms of the clouds are different. And you are just watching them and accepting them. No judgment of any thought. In a similar way, if any feelings arise, allow yourself to simply watch them, just like waves that rise up and fall down. But you are not those waves. Allow yourself to go into your own depths. Going into a deeper silence. Just like going at the bottom of the ocean, where there is deep silence, deep stillness. Or like unfolding your awareness into the empty sky, which is vast, infinite. This empty sky is you, in which the clouds may come and go. Surrender yourself into this deeper emptiness. Into this deeper stillness. Into this deeper silence within. Know your true self. Linger in this silence within. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just in. By knowing yourself, you know the universe. Be there in this silence within. Know the light within. Just be in this silence. Linger there for another 3 minutes. Deeper in this silence. There is all the answers that you need. This emptiness within is also fullness. Just be there for another minute. As you get ready to come back, this silence, this fragrance of the silence will be there in your entire day. You will remember this awareness. You will remember that you are more than your body, more than your mind, more than the emotions that you feel. Remembering this, you will be able to live the life with more lightness, with full intensity, but with a sense of playfulness. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Slowly you can rub your palms together, cover your eyes. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back, friends. Anybody feels like sharing their experience? Anybody at all? No? Okay. Friends, I'll share a little about my initial conflict. So when I used to meditate, and of course, when we talk about Maya, right? And the thing was, everything is false. Everything is a Maya. So what's the point of all of this? What's the point of living? What's the point of, when I first got into past life regression or inner child healing, somebody said, what's the point of this? This is all Maya. Anyways, it's all not true, right? Now, the fact is that